So I've been watching a lot of television lately, but I do manage to sneak in the occasional film here or there. And luckily enough, I was actually able to go to the movie theater this month and I saw a Minecraft movie. And the film itself should have been called an exposition movie because they just explain a lot of stuff. It was good, but I felt like they could have done more with it and they could have achieved more with what the game has to offer. The director was Jared Hess, who had done Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. And so, of course, the real world takes place in Idaho because he's from Idaho. You got to have that gratuitous potato factory
Mhm.
scene in his films, which, they check off in the first act. I felt like it wasn't bad. It was fun. There was cool stuff. My favorite part was probably Jack Black's dog, Dennis, and his relationship with the dog. Overall, it's okay. Like if you know the game, I think it's probably more fun. If you don't know the game though, like I said, there's a lot of exposition. So they like really kind of explain it to you so you can keep up with it. And I think when they get to the sequel, which of course is inevitable and they do kind of queue up nicely in this one, I think the sequel is really going to surpass this film, or it has the ability to surpass this film, I'll say, just based on what I know of the game and the world and how they set things up in this one. So overall, I mean, like I said, if you played the game, it's fun. If you haven't played the game, you'll understand it a little bit better. And the graphics and the effects, like the Minecraft world in the movie, looked really cool. Like it kind of did a nice job of blending the cartoonish element with like the real world. Like it had almost that like Toy Story plasticine feel to it when they were in the Minecraft world. So it was good, but there was some character voice performances that just felt like eh, they could have done better. So I think, on IMDb, it might have like a 6 or a 6.1. And I think that's fair,
Okay.
for somehow, some way. I think Rotten Tomatoes is a bunch of bullshit. I'm just going to throw it out there. People are always like, oh, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, fuck Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb really does a good job with their algorithm of like basically compiling all the likes and ratings and the 1 to 10 ratio and just finding that happy medium. And I really think, yeah, it usually lands in a fair spot across the board. Even if you really really like the movie, I think you'd looking at it fairly, you could say, yeah, that's fair. Like I'm biased because I really like it, or oh yeah, I really hated it, but you know what? Everything was in focus. The sound mix was good. Like there's that technical side too that's most people don't account for in their critique of something, and I don't think that's fair either. But anyways, it's not bad. Jack Black's fun.
Yeah, because you're talking about IMDb reviews and other reviews, and my movie I watched is Snow White, the last live action, and I heard so bad things about this movie that I was curious about it. So that's funny. Sometimes when you hear bad stuff, you're like,
Uh,
okay, I'm gonna watch it just to have my own opinion. And actually, it wasn't as bad as I expected. I'm not a huge Disney fan, so yeah, I didn't really enjoy it, but because it's a Disney, not because of the movie itself. so, so that's the thing. But of course, there are things that could have been done different, like the casting, for example. And I think that's most of the bad reviews are about it. Because I don't want to be mean, but when Gal Gadot says to her mirror, "Tell me who is the most beautiful one," even if I understand that the beauty is inner beauty and not just physical beauty, Gal Gadot is the one. She's she's beautiful, and when you know the
We get
actress,
no
you know
argument over here.
yeah, I'm sorry for
well, yeah,
Rachel
she's
Zegler,
Wonder
but
Woman.
yeah, she's Wonder Woman. Yeah, yeah, and I don't know. She has a charm. She has something. Even when because she plays the bad witch, but actually, it's not really believable. Um, you feel that Snow White could be more evil than the witch. So that's weird. That's definitely the negative point of
Mm,
this movie. But except that, the songs are typical of Disney songs, and they well performed. Rachel Zegler, she sings very well. I mean, you cannot say something bad against her on that. And that's a very important point when you think
yeah.
about it. Disney, you expect a good song and well performed. So that's something you can expect in this movie. And you have the seven dwarfs. So I heard that they changed that from the original filming, because apparently it wasn't seven dwarfs during the filming process, and they changed it with CGI process. So it shows that the thing you see that
Ah.
the dwarfs are on CGI, definitely. But except that, I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's not the best ever. I really don't see the point to do those kind of movies when you want to take such a story. If you want to do something very original with it, why not? But what I saw is it doesn't bring anything really. There is no I don't know, something very cinematic, or I didn't get the point. But if you want to see Snow White, go for it. But if you don't see it, you won't miss anything.
All the, like, live action Disney remakes just seem so incredibly pointless, and I don't think any of them, like, that people were hating on the Little Mermaid remake, which I didn't see, but they were hating on that, they hated on they, like, crushed this one, like you said, it has, like, a 1.6 rating on IMDb, which I don't think any movie is really a 1.6, but
Yeah.
you get people so fired up and they just need like an enemy to like vent on or something. They need some sense of solidarity for their voice to be heard, and they go after this movie.
Well, it got, the problem with this film specifically, I think, is their star is so insufferable and so unlikable. And she ran her mouth a lot in the media and she caused a lot of problems. She got political at points. And I think all that stuff just became giant, distractions and detractors from the actual project. And how many reshoots they had to do, the stuff they did, not calling the dwarves dwarves, calling them magical creatures. And then, the community of actors who could have portrayed these characters didn't get work. And
Yeah.
they were up in arms about that, but because Peter Dinklage said this is an insult, fuck you, guy. You played a dwarf on one of the most award-winning shows in the history of television. That was cool for you to do. You
Yeah.
got your
Yeah.
payday, but you
Mm.
cut the rug out from seven other people who could have got a payday, and I like Dinklage, but fuck him. I mean, that's kind of a ballsy step.
Mhm.
So I think there was a lot of crap surrounding this movie.
I'm glad that Anne got to see it and got to like talk to us about it and let us know, what was up like from a objective point of view.
I tried.
What do you have for us, Steve? What'd you see
Well,
this round?
I was super excited when I saw the trailer for the movie Anora. For some reason, one of the trailers, and I don't usually watch trailers either, but one of the trailers that I saw, it grabbed me. I was like, okay, this looks pretty interesting. I'm going to check this out. And I watched it, and I'll tell you right off the bat, Mikey Madison is fantastic in the movie. She's fantastic. I think she's deserving of the Academy Award. Her performance, all the different things she has to do. She pole dances in a section of it, which it's not easy. Swinging by her legs and all this stuff. So she learned a lot of stuff to do this, and she's great. The movie, I think, is good, but that's it. And then, like the entire time that I'm watching the movie, I'm saying to myself, "Is this Best Picture?" Like not in a way that I'm shitting on it, but, like, I'm actually asking, and I'm comparing it in my mind to things that have come in, like, because that was Best Picture. Is this that? Is this that level? And to me, the answer is no.
Mhm.
I thought there was some really, really good performances in the movie, hers being the best. I thought there were some very good scenes. I thought there was some funny stuff, but there are two I can't even call them scenes, but there are 2 sections in this movie that went on for, I think, far too long. And I
Mm.
thought, like, okay, I get the vibe and where they're going with the scene, and then it kept going,
Mm.
and then it kept going, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, so then my opinion of, like, what I'm supposed to be feeling in the scene switches, and I'm like, this thing is still fucking going. I can't even call it a scene. It was like a section. And then that happened again, like, later on, and I'm like, "What the fuck am I watching here?" But there were some scenes that were very good, and I
Mhm.
think the performances saved the writing. I think this might have been overwritten, which
Mm.
is gonna sound weird because it's a very small movie, but I think
Yeah.
certain things were overthought and overwritten. It's pretty well made, um, but I mean, I didn't see the other nominees because I don't really follow the Oscars too much these days, but
Yeah.
for me, it felt a little muddied, it felt a little misguided. I didn't buy all of the relationship motivations, and I don't wanna elaborate because I don't wanna spoil anything for you. And then the stakes, the consequence that is put forward in the movie, I don't think it was of any consequence at all. I think it kind of fell flat. It's like, "What the fuck was the point of that?" Kind of a thing, like,
Yeah.
this is the big thing that we're avoiding, and then, okay. So to me, it was just like, I don't know. I felt a little disappointed. I also felt like some of the best things in this movie I had seen other places,
Mm.
and the premise is not very original at all, to a
Yeah.
degree, 'cause, I've seen True Romance, I've seen Pretty Woman. So,
Uh-huh.
when you get into that type of and those are 2 very different movies, but it's got elements of those movies in it. So, like, I've seen that before, but I've also seen it better, and
Yeah.
so, to me, it's a mixed bag. Maybe you guys will feel different. Check it out. I was really going in wanting to love this movie and have, like, a new favorite movie to add to the collection. Fell a little short for me.
Uh-huh.
I'd maybe watch it again in a couple years, see if I feel differently, but I'm not in a rush to.
The Oscars really like I saw something in the news recently that like now it's mandatory that people who vote for the Oscars have to actually watch the films.
Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. Just think about that for a moment. So now it's really just a popularity contest. It's, it's one big wine and dine campaign. And that was the case with this movie. As I understand it,
Mhm.
it cost $6 million and the Oscar campaign cost $18 million.
Yeah.
They spent
Yeah.
3 times the budget of this movie just wooing the Oscar people, and it's like, you know what? If the movie doesn't, like, have its own merits, like, if people aren't, like, excited and enthusiastic about the movie that they are seeing, then, yeah, it shouldn't win. I don't care, and, like, it's cool that the dude who, like, he, like, won 4 Oscars for, like, 4 different categories. What was it, like, best editor, best original
Mm.
screenplay, best director, and best film, so best producer. It's like, okay, yeah, that's really cool, but it would be cool if it was like a fucking bulletproof movie, that's gonna
Yeah.
like span time, which if you pay attention to the Oscars and if you look back at the history of them, really that's why it's like the best picture of that year, because
Mhm.
that film encapsulates that year. Like it represents that year of filmmaking. So those are the coming distractions for this week.